And welcome in to week 4, race number 2. So if you're counting, that is race 8 of this season. 20 races in the 10-week season. And we had a doozy of a race at Lanier. I don't even know what to call this one. So I'm going to be real with you guys. The very first time I'd ever seen Weedsport was this session. I heard horrible things about this track. I really do not know. I don't know about this. I haven't even been in the driver's seat here. And watching these guys in qualifying, watching these guys in practice, it's going to be a tough task tonight. Very, very tough task. So, let's see if we can pop up the track map for you guys. That way you can appreciate okay. Sometime in 1955. Okay. 1955 is when this track opened. Farmer built this track in a berry field. 1970s come around, that track gets bought. Somehow, some way, somebody who probably after a lot of alcoholic influence decided to take that track on screen. You guys can see it right there, that little track map, and call that an oval. How they ever thought that was an oval, I have no idea, boys. And these guys are going to race here in non-wings. You take one of the toughest dirt cars and throw it on that. We're in for a show, guys. We are in for a show. Despite its odd shape and literally being a single turn from turn 1 all the way until you get back on the back stretch. Because there is no straightening up of your car. Weedsport is still around today. It is a very popular track, actually. With the guys in the Northeast, we already know that they're crazy. If any of y'all have met Jim Johnson, not Jimmy Johnson, Jim Johnson out of JBSRL, dude's loco. Okay. They are just all loco. Despite the oddness of this track, they do see big block modifieds out there quite a bit. That is their main draw. I can see where big block modifieds would have a lot of fun around this track, but just that. You got World of Outlaws that comes here. You got the USAC National Tour that comes here. Dirt guys are just insane. There ain't no getting around it. These dirt boys are insane, but hey, we're here to watch it and have a great time. And the B-Main Bandits are going to throw a banger of a race on tonight. Let's get into heat race number 1, guys. On the pole will be little brother to league owner Austin Thornton. Little brother to league owner Andrew Thornton. It is Austin Thornton. The outside newcomer Dan Dixon, racing out of the UK. Great to see some more guys jumping in here with these boys. Inside row number 3 will be Jackson McLean out of Paris, Tennessee. Outside row 2 will be Craig Silby out of Auckland, New Zealand. And rounding out the field will be self-proclaimed non-dirt racer, Richie Joplin. It's going to be an interesting one here. turn one is going to be very tight. That is most likely where you're going to see the most slide jobs that you have ever seen on iRacing. That may be the only passing zone that we see here tonight. Oh, baby. This is going to be a doozy. 8-lap heats. If there is a caution, they will go single file just like every other B-Main Bandits dirt race. All restarts with the open wheel cars are single file. Caution laps do not count. Just like that, the pace car is off. And Austin Thornton gets on the loud pedal. We are green! Heading down in turn one, everybody does get single file. Jackson McLean quickly up to second. Dan Dixon looking to his inside, though. Can the newcomer get anything done as he's all sorts out there, all out of shape, coming out of 3 and 4. As contact between Thornton and McLean, and here comes Sylvie working his way under Austin. And once again, as we've seen many times before, it's going to be the Sylvie and McLean show with these non-wings. Richie Joplin hanging on to this high horsepower monster on this slick track. Just hoping that he can be up there with them. And 4 laps down, we are halfway through heat race number 1. Jackson still leads them. Right behind them is Craig Sylvie. Dan Dixon holds on to that final podium spot. Richie Joplin finally getting around Austin Thornton. The actual dirt racer having issues here tonight. Can Richie try to capitalize on another mistake by Dan? We will have to see. Sylvie and McLean in their own zip code. 2 to go. As you see them ripping that cushion on the backstretch. Jackson staying up high, trying to keep on the throttle. White flag is out. Does Craig have anything for Jackson here in heat race number 1? He's going to have one last chance. He sends it down. They are side by side coming out of the corner. Craig touches the inside wall. Give it to McLean for heat race number 1. And that'll put him in a great spot for the feature tonight. And off to heat race number 2. Only 2 heat races tonight for the B-Main Bandits. It'll be newcomer Kyle O'Donnell racing out of the UK. Great to see him out here. To his outside, he will have Ryan Paget out of Oklahoma. Row number 2 will be Andrew Thornton out of Granbury, Texas. And Trevor Royer to his outside. John O'Brien out of Bosque Farms, New Mexico will round out the field. So we did see a bunch of action in heat race number 1. These guys wisely going single file into turn number 1, possibly the narrowest point of the racetrack. We'll see if the guys in number 2 learned anything from number 1. As lights are out on the pace truck, we will be going green this time round. And Kyle O'Donnell will get us started. Andrew Thornton already looking to the inside of Ryan Paget. And it'll be Trevor Royer trying to make his way through the field here. He did get around Paget. Can he get around Thornton in 1 and 2? Working that low line. He's got the nose on Paget. He's looking at O'Donnell. Can he get up there and get the lead early in heat race number 2? Give it to Trevor Royer that time round. Thornton looking to the bottom, trying to get side by side with Royer. Just not enough grip yet on that low side for these guys to gain any sort of momentum. You had contact between O'Donnell and Ryan Paget. That'll put Kyle back there with John O'Brien as they're racing for 4th and 5th. Thornton has worked his way out to a 1-second lead over Ryan Paget. But Trevor Royer showing why he is the class of heat race number 2, as he's jumped out to almost a 2-second interval. Sorry, about a 1.5 seconds at the line. We do get single filed out. 3 laps to go. We do have our first caution of the night. It is Ryan Paget. Reckon Ryan goes into 1 and 2, just taps the right rear, puts it around. Hopefully Ryan does not have any damage to that car and is able to continue through this heat race. Two laps to go in heat race number 2. It'll be a shootout. Andrew Thornton does have a chance to try to get up there and fight with Trevor Royer, who had almost a 2-second gap on him under green flag laps. Can he get a good jump? Pace truck is off. Royer fires. We are back under green here in Weedsport, New York. Thornton just going to try to maintain, followed by O'Donnell and Ryan Paget. Paget and O'Donnell are fighting for that final podium spot, as Royer and Thornton have just walked out. Andrew Thornton will come home second. Royer is your winner in heat race number 2. O'Donnell will take third. Ryan Paget in the 4th position, and John O'Brien rounds out your field of 10. And it is time. We are going feature racing for 30 laps of action here at Weedsport. After the invert, it will be John O'Brien and Richie Joplin on your front row. Kyle O'Donnell and Dan Dixon, both of the UK guys, will be row number 2. Craig Silvey and Andrew Thornton will make up row number 3. Jackson McLean and Trevor Royer will make up row 4, and rounding out the best of the rest will be Austin Thornton and Ryan Paget. We saw what they could do during the heat races. Only 1 caution through 16 laps. Double the car count. Let's see if they are able to keep it up. John and Richie are definitely in the best position, being on the front row. Getting that clean entry into 1 will be key, but can either of them keep it from going too far sideways? And will the UK drivers capitalize on the inexperience of the front row tonight. Pace truck is off. We are going to find out here momentarily and watch some of the best non-wing sprint car drivers on Iracing here with the B-Main Bandits. Get them rocking and rolling, and we are green flag racing here at Weedsport. Quite the shuffle as you see Craig Silby getting around Richie Joplin. Richie did not have the start he wanted. John O'Brien will lead them into 3 and 4. Can he hold it going into 1 and 2? He's got to fight off Royer and O'Donnell. And Andrew Thornton looking low there too. These guys are fighting for that podium spot tonight. Who wants the points the most? Ooh, contact between O'Donnell and O'Brien. But everybody is still going the right way. Royer has gotten out to a little bit of a lead over Craig Silby. Put him out there about half a second out. As look now, we have Jackson McLean making his way through. We have our first caution of the night. We caught it alive there. Saw someone in the wall. Looks like it might have been Kyle O'Donnell. So here you see O'Donnell coming out of 3 and 4. Shoots it down into 1 and 2. Just gets that right rear in the wall a little too hard. But he does get it going back straight. Not in time to save a caution though. 4 laps down out of 30. And Andrew Thornton has gone into pit road. Let's pull up Mr. Andrew Thornton and see what is going on with the car here. Andrew, we saw you dip off into the pits. Is your car okay? Are you needing repairs or what's going on?
We're going to grab the fast repair there. I absolutely demolished the wall in turns 1 and 2 about a lap prior to the caution.
Now, unfortunate for you, buddy. Hopefully you get back out there soon and get back racing.
That was...
Okay, guys, you heard it from Andrew. He hit the wall a little too hard. Unfortunate for him. But looks like he will be able to get back out there, grabbing that quick fast repair and stay on the lead lap. Pace truck lights are out. They are single file. We are getting ready to go back at Weedsport. Drivers are tightening those belts down, getting ready to get going with these high horsepower sprint cars. Into 3 and 4, Trevor Royer will lead them to green once again. Great jump by Royer into 1 and 2, followed by Silby and McLean. Will any of them have anything for Royer tonight? Only time will tell as this track slicks off. Oh, Silby throws the slider. Does not work. That'll allow Jackson McLean to get around Silby. Bold move in the early laps here. 25 to go at the line. We have a tale of 3 different lines here between Dixon, Silby, and McLean. But none of them making any room on Royer as he throws a masterclass tonight at Weedsport. Working out to almost a 2-second gap already in the early laps. Going into 3 and 4, it is the battle for 3rd place between Dixon and Silby. It is the best battle on track currently. McLean, Silby, and Dixon all fighting hard for the podium. They need to get single filed out if any of them has a chance to get up there with Royer. As he's now out to a 3-second gap in less than 10 laps. Behind Dixon is Ryan Paget, trying to catch the podium runners here. John O'Brien having a great run up in 6th, followed by Kyle O'Donnell, who after his little right rear tap on the wall has worked his way back up to 7th. Austin Thornton and Andrew Thornton are playing their role of the retard brothers in the back. Let's see who's going to hit who first there. And Richie Joplin is just hoping to hold on and take his top 10, 4 points tonight. Royer keeps building a larger and larger lead as we get going. Sylvie did make it around McLean, so we'll see if Sylvie does have anything for Royer, but he's got a massive gap to close. He's throwing that slider line into 1 and 2, trying to find any speed. He's searching. Dixon now has fallen back to almost 1.7. Almost 1.7 seconds behind Jackson McLean. Paget trying to close the gap on Dixon. And O'Donnell in 6th. Everybody is just trying to hold on at this crazy oval track. It is very, very loose terms to call it an oval, boys. But these guys are enjoying it. They're holding on to the car. Jackson is working that high line, trying to rip that cushion, trying to get back around Sylvie. And Sylvie's searching for anything low. Is not finding it yet. Royer now out to almost a 4-second lead. With his pace, looks like he may be having to come into some lap traffic. That might be the saving grace that Sylvie and Jackson need to try to work their way back up there. Oh, Jackson does hit the wall, but keeps it going straight. Sylvie works his way around the first lap car of Richie Joplin. As Royer is working his way up on Austin Thornton. John O'Brien and Andrew Thornton. Oh, they touch. Andrew keeps it going though. Like John might be letting them by. Oh, we have some more touching, and that allows Andrew Thornton or Austin Thornton to get back into it. Leader Trevor Royer trying to get past the calamity here. Not what he wants to see in front of him, but he makes it through. Next up is Sylvie to try to get around the trio of O'Brien and the Thornton brothers. Not the running that Andrew wanted as the championship leader, but this may go as one of his drop races. As the first caution or the second caution of the main event has come out. Looks like Richie Joplin gets into some trouble here. The track slicking off, and Richie having a hard time. Just gets up too high, jumps the cushion, hits the right rear, goes for a little bit of a tumble. Unfortunate for Richie. He will have to tow to the pits. We will get the field all situated here. As you have Andrew Thornton, John O'Brien, and Austin Thornton all a lap down. That leaves the top 6 of Trevor Royer, Craig Sylvie, Jackson McLean, Ryan Paget, Dan Dixon, and Kyle O'Donnell on the lead lap. Definitely not what you wanted to see if you were Trevor Royer. This allows Craig Sylvie, who is arguably one of the best dirt racers I've ever seen in these non-wings, back on your tail. It's going to be a very interesting time as we will have 7 laps to go as they line up single file. Sylvie is laying back off Royer a little bit here. Do not know why. Maybe trying to get the jump. As they close it back up, Royer fires And Sylvie's right behind him, gets a little too sideways, getting onto on the straightaway. And Royer will start to make his lead once again. Sylvie working that slider line as, contact. It's like that was between Ryan Paget and Jackson McLean. Cautions breed cautions here, guys. Admins were not wanting to see that first yellow. But Paget sending the slider in, just way too aggressive from Wrecking Ryan there. And McLean is the casualty. So Jackson will be going to the back. Don't know if he's going to take a fast repair or not. Looks like they are waiting for the pace car here. So Jackson will head into the pits. Let's get a quick little word with Wonder Boy here. Hey, Jackson. Let's head up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
So, we just want your initial thoughts here. You've been working the high side, trying to get around Sylvie. What exactly happened there? We caught it live, but I want your take on everything.
Paget wasn't paying attention to who was on his outside. That's about all there is to that, honestly.
Well, with getting the fast repair, hopefully your car is fixed. Are you going to be able to get back up there to Sylvie and try to maybe finish on the podium tonight?
I don't know if I'll get all the way back up there, but if I do get to Paget, he's not going to have fun.
Well, you guys heard it here first. Wonder Boy is not happy tonight. Unfortunate for him, but we will see and keep an eye on where Jackson McLean is in the field. Pace lights are off. It's Royer, Sylvie, Paget, your top three, followed by the UK duo of Dixon and O'Donnell. McLean sits in sixth. Andrew Thornton is off the track. 6 laps to go here at Weedsport. Royer gets off to another great start. Sylvie behind him. Will Wrecking Ryan have anything for the top two? We shall see. As McLean's already made it past O'Donnell. Can he get to Dixon and pass him? And next thing you know, he has sights on Wrecking Ryan. Sylvie starting to make moves with 4 laps to go in your feature tonight. Royer's getting sideways. That's allowing Sylvie to be up there. Get up to his side. Sylvie staying on that low line. He might have found something. Gets a great jump off of turn 1 on the backstretch, side by side, going into 3 and 4. Coming to 2 to go. Royer hits the wall. Drag race to the start finish. And give it to Royer that time around. Sylvie showing great pace off of 1 and 2. He's all over Royer. Tapping that top wall. White flag is out. Royer and Sylvie fighting it out. Sylvie gets sideways out of two. Does he have anything? He's trying. He's throwing it, but give it to Trevor Royer, putting on a masterclass tonight. Craig Sylvie in second. Ryan Paget will take the final podium spot. Jackson McLean, after a rough night, shows up fourth. Dan Dixon and Kyle O'Donnell will take fifth and sixth in their opening outing with the B-Main Bandits. Austin Thornton, John O'Brien, Richie Joplin, and Andrew Thornton will round out your top 10. Wow, guys. again, I'm speechless. These guys put down a great green flag run. You know, really, I should never count out the B-Main Bandits. I really shouldn't. I said it at Lanier. You know, I was thinking these guys were going to have a lot tougher time handling with the cars. You know, Paget throwing that slider. You know, it is what it is. We'll hear from him in a second. There was some rough racing tonight, but these guys kept it going. That's the main point. The majority of the bumps and bruises these guys took didn't bring out yellows, and it was great to see them have a green flag run at what I'm going to say is arguably one of the most difficult tracks on dirt. So, hats off to the B-Main Bandits. They put on a hell of a show tonight. And with that, let's get into our interviews. And first up will be Mr. Ryan Paget. You come home with a third place finish tonight. A little bit of bumping and grinding out there, but hey, you got the job done. Did you have anything for Sylvie or even Trevor up front?
Absolutely not. I mean, I think I did a little bit right after the caution, but I kept making a few mistakes, and that allowed them to get away. But I feel like if I could have cleaned those mistakes up, maybe would have had something for them. But nah, they were pretty quick.
So we're going to address the elephant in the room here. The slider with you and Mr. Jackson McLean. We talked to him under pacing there. He obviously wasn't happy. Have you had a chance to talk with him yet?
No, he left the room and everything. I haven't, I apologized to him. He knows I didn't mean to do it. Like, I had a run on the bottom, and I went to run the bottom going into 3 and 4, but, the car didn't stick. Just kept floating and floating and floating, and then there he was. I honestly didn't think he would be there, but, that wasn't intentional at all.
You guys heard it here. You heard both sides. Form your own opinions as you will. Ryan, great run tonight. Great podium. Before we let you go, is there any sponsors that you want to shout out or any supporters out there?
No. I just got to thank Andrew for putting this up every week. It's something I look forward to. And I got to appreciate you for, doing stuff like this. It's pretty cool. But no, appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you coming out here every week. Great run tonight.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That was Wreckin' Ryan Paget. Trust me, he earns that nickname. Well, with that, we will have our second place finisher out of Auckland, New Zealand, Mr. Craig Silby. It's Ed up here in the booth. You got me?
Hello, Ed. How you doing?
Good, buddy. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I was fairly sure I was going to be racing for second because the moment you see Trevor Roy turn up, it's she's all bad. But no, I was lucky to get a yellow there towards the end and have a chance to race him, but not quite. Ran out of laps.
Yeah, it definitely. There in the last few laps, you were able to get side by side with him. Looks like you might have found something off of 1 and 2. We were hoping that maybe you were going to make it a drag race there at the end. But, man, Trevor put on a masterclass. Did you have anything to be up there with him?
Oh, if I didn't get that yellow, he was like half a lap ahead. So, yeah, there was no way. But early on, I think it was lap 5 or 6, I got a really good run down the down low on the back between 2 and 3. And I just about cleaned him out. I was like, oh, my goodness, I'm so sorry. But we all managed to gather it up. But I couldn't believe how much faster I was going. I just didn't make the corner.
Well, it's another great run for you here, Craig. It's always great to see you out here. Before we let you go, anybody you want to shout out? Any sponsors or supporters?
Craig Silby is the number one sponsor. So thank you, Warlord Gaming for putting this on for the world to see online, and B-Main Bandits for putting the show on, and thanks everyone for showing up and giving it a go. This is a really difficult track, and yeah, I just love it. And congratulations once again to Trevor and Jackson and I had some good racing there early on too, and we got a bit close, and I have to apologise for that, but we all made it through.
Well, Another great run out of you, Craig. We'll see you the next time the B-Main Bandits hit dirt.
Thanks, Ed. Good stuff.
And with that, guys, we go to our number 1 finisher on the night. Just dominating this race once he got out front. It is Mr. Trevor Royer. It's Ed up here in the booth. You got me?
Yep, I got you.
Trevor, you got out front and you just didn't let anybody sniff your tailpipe. You put on a masterclass tonight. I mean, really, is there anything else we need to say about your race tonight?
Yeah, that restart at the end there, I definitely didn't want to see that. I kind of didn't know where to be there at the end of the race. And Craig's pretty good. I knew pulling back away from him wasn't going to be as easy as it was early in the race, because it seemed like I was able to get through traffic a little better on the bottom there off the start, and build a nice gap for most of that race. So when we got the yellow, definitely wasn't sure where to run. As you could probably tell by the last couple laps, I was kind of entering low, sliding myself. Like, a couple more laps, who knows what would have happened. But yeah, it was a good race. I took a couple months off the service, so just trying to get back into the things here. I just randomly decided to hop on tonight and give it a try. So it's good to see I still got it somewhat. I still felt a little sloppy, but yeah, always fun to race with the B-Man Bandits and come out with the win here.
Well, it was a definite masterclass on probably one of the most difficult dirt tracks. Great to see you getting back into top form. And before we let you go, man, any sponsors, supporters that you want to shout out there?
Yeah, my team, Black Diamond Motorsports, 19 Designs, Tim's Dirt Track Simulators, Ultimate Dirt TV, you for putting this broadcast on, and everyone involved in B-Man Bandits for everything they do to keep this league running. And I know they run a bunch of other races throughout the week, so I just appreciate all their hard work and everybody watching. Thank you.
Well, great run again, Trevor. You have a wonderful night, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, you too.
Well, guys, that does it. Man, what a race. These guys, Trevor put on a masterclass. The battles between Craig and Jackson, top tier as usual. The only way to catch it all, guys, is to come back next Tuesday. They will be back for Week 5 action. It'll be Midgets at Lanier and the Silver Crowns at Dover. You don't want to miss it. Come on back here to Warlord Gaming on Twitch. Possibly on Facebook as well in the future. Keep your eyes and ears open for that. But until then, guys, we will be back Friday with the Open Wheel Outlaws and right here again next Tuesday night for the B-Main Bandits. Till then, keep on sending it in.